Well, howdy, boys and girls, and welcome to CEDA, episode 24, Creating Every Day in April, and we are getting ready to wind it down in the fourth week, and it's been kind of interesting to bring you this series of recordings we call expressions, Southern expressions, and Southern words from the Southern Dictionary. And I hope you've been enjoying it. In fact, I can't really tell if any of you are watching it, but you know, this is what I do during the month of April. One of the things that I thought might be, excuse me just a second, I'm going to take a glass of something Southern here. It's in my Alabama cup, Roll Tide, and a little bit of sweet tea. People wonder why we put sugar in our tea down here in the South. It's because it makes it taste better. I never have understood unsweetened tea up above that Mason-Dixon line. Well, nevertheless, this is episode 24, and today we are dealing with an expression, and in reality, a word today, beginning with the letter U. U. And that word is uppity. Uppity. You ever heard that word? You don't read it much in literature, maybe Southern expressions, but uppity is kind of a slang expression, I guess you would say, for someone who is stuck up or maybe just a bit conceited in their attitudes towards others. If you think about it, the word uppity is somewhat a synonym for someone who thinks they're in this uppity position or superior position to someone they're maybe talking to who is in a lower class of intellect, people, race, you name it. People tend to sometimes talk down to someone else. We kind of see it with adults and children, you know. Adults tend to talk down to children, and in some cases they're trying to simplify things so that the child can understand it better. I'm always reminded of a story, and this goes back to the days of the legendary coach Paul Bear Bryant at the University of Alabama. And Coach Bryant was out on a recruiting trip looking for players for his football program there. And he was driving by a farm, and he happened to notice out in the field there was a big old strapping, strong-looking boy, his shirt off, his muscles ripping in the sunshine, sweat covered, and he was watching this guy, young man, taking bales of hay from the ground and literally throwing them up into the wagon of the truck with very little effort. And he immediately pulled over the car, got out, jumped over the fence, walked out into the field and said, "Son, you are a fine-looking specimen. Have you ever thought about coming to the University of Alabama?" And the boy said, "Well, what would I do there, Coach? I got a job here on the farm." And Coach said, "Well, I would want you to play football for me on the Crimson Tide team." And the young man kind of hesitated for a moment, and Coach Bryant was looking at him and looking at those big arm muscles, you know, and he said, "Son, you think you could pass a football?" And the boy looked at Coach Bryant and said, "Well, maybe, Coach, but I think it'd be kind of hard to swallow a football just to get all that started." Well, anyway, Coach Bryant was kind of talking down the game of football, but uppity is more of an attitude towards us when someone thinks they're better than us, more conceited, richer, smarter, who knows. But that's the word of the day, uppity. And I hope you enjoy it, and you'll come back tomorrow for episode 25 when we'll be looking at an expression or a word that relates to the letter V. We're winding down. We hope you'll come back and finish up with us. We're in the final days, and it's been fun And not signing off for good yet, but we will see you tomorrow. And oh, by the way, you remember what I've always said: if you get down to Birmingham and to Alabama, hope you'll look me up. Y'all come.